stuff. Katie plays stuff.
Hey, I'm Katie, and this is Katie Plays Stuff, where I play stuff for you. And today, I'm going to be telling a story, which is very weird because I usually don't do this. If you are brand new to my channel, you have no idea what my channel is, you just see Katie Plays Stuff, and you're like, what kind of stuff does this girl play? I'm a gaming channel. I usually play horror games, or pretty much just whatever I want to play, and I do commentary on it. So if you're looking for story times, that's not really going to happen here. But if you have been watching my channel for a while, then you know that I did one other story time one time. So this isn't very common, but this is a story that I need to tell right now. So I'm not exactly sure if I've ever talked about this because I pretty much just play games on this channel. But I've always been very interested in paranormal type things. I've always been interested in ghosts and just, I love stuff. I love, movies about ghosts. I love movies about haunted houses. I've always been very interested in anything paranormal. And I've always wanted to tell a paranormal story on my channel, but I haven't been able to because I really don't have any paranormal stories. I have maybe a few, little weird things that have happened during my life, but nothing that could ever make a full story until now. And now I'm going to tell you that story. Okay, so I just bought a house with my fiance 10 months ago. And if you've ever watched a horror movie about ghosts, usually a new couple moves into a house. They've been living there for a while. Sorry if you can hear stuff in the background. My dog is running around. A couple moves into a house. They've been living there for about 6 months and things start to happen. And then by the year point, their house has fucking become this crazy haunted house. And I feel like that's my life right now. So me and my fiance, Brendan, we bought our house about 10 months ago. We've been living here. It's just a little house. It's nothing special. I'm really happy with it. We have a nice backyard, and it's something that a lot of 23-year-olds at this point in their lives don't have. So I'm very lucky, and I love my house a lot. So just a little bit of a backstory about my house. The original owners lived here. I think they got the house maybe 50 or 60 years ago. They lived here until eventually they passed away, and then the house was sold to this big company in my town, very big company that a lot of people work at. And they owned my house until pretty much me and Brendan bought it. So we bought the house, we started renovating our house. I was actually going to do a video about the house. I was going to show little clips of us working on it, and I really am still doing it, but our bathroom still isn't even finished in 10 months. So I haven't had a chance to put up videos of the house yet. I promise eventually something like that will be up. But we renovated the bathroom, we renovated the kitchen, we painted the living room, we took all the wallpaper down in the bedroom. So we've been doing a lot of work to the house. And so here's where the story begins. From day fucking one, when me and Shannon, my best friend, started peeling wallpaper in the bedroom, I don't even know what really happened. We showed up to peel wallpaper one day, and one of the closet doors to the bedroom was left open. And nobody has ever been here. We didn't leave the closet door open. It sounds really stupid, but from day one, we're like, it's haunted, I tell you, it's haunted. It's ridiculous. There's a ghost here. And it was kind of just an ongoing joke that we would say all the time that the house was haunted because one closet door was left open, and we probably left it open. So it really wasn't anything. I would kind of just say it was haunted, and then Brendan would get all mad at me because he doesn't believe in ghosts. He doesn't believe in anything like that. So anyway, it was kind of just an ongoing joke that the house was haunted. Then I think we'd been living here for about maybe 3 months, 2 or 3 months. And this was kind of strange because it really doesn't have to do with paranormal anything. Our house was fine for about 2 or 3 months. I feel very safe here. And one day I got home from work, and I get home from work, I think it was maybe 5 p.m. And I came in the door, and I opened the door. You go in from the garage into the house. And I went in from the garage, and as soon as I opened the door, I heard a loud crash. And it sounded like it came from the basement. And I'm the only one home. Brendan usually works late. And the only people here were my 2 cats and my dog. And I open the door to come home at 5 p.m. and I hear a crash down in the basement, which I automatically thought maybe one of the cats pushed something over, or I don't know, just, one of the animals did it. And I came into the house not thinking anything of it, and both of my cats are in the kitchen, and my dog is there to greet me like he always does. And I was fucking terrified. I was so scared. I don't know if I've ever been that scared. Ever. Because if you guys know me, I'm scared of water. I'm scared of, drowning. But my second fear is an intruder in my house and being killed by an intruder. I watch a lot of horror documentaries. I watch a lot of things about serial killers because I'm interested in that kind of stuff because I'm really morbid and creepy. And I thought someone was in the basement. And in my deepest part of my heart, I thought someone was in the basement. And I went running. Well, I didn't run. I kind of crept past the basement stairs, and I went to the bedroom, and I called up Brendan, and I'm like, Brendan. And I was whispering. I was literally whispering because I thought someone was below me in the basement. And I was like, Brendan, I think somebody is in the basement. I don't know if you guys can even hear me. I'm just going to say it. I think somebody's in the basement. I said, I came into the house. I think I heard someone knock something over because they were startled because they didn't realize I was coming home. I think there's somebody actually in the basement right now and they didn't know I was coming home. Maybe they were robbing us. I don't know. I was terrified. And Brendan pretty much told me, it's probably nothing. Why don't you go downstairs and check it out? Thanks a lot, Brendan! Yeah, he didn't think it was anything because I jumped to conclusions a lot. And if there was someone in the basement, I would be dead right now. Okay, Brendan? So there you go. But yeah, he pretty much told me to go downstairs and check it out, which is the worst thing he could have told me. I didn't do it. I stayed upstairs, I called my mom, and I just sat with her on the phone until Brendan got home. I didn't even call the police. If I really thought there was someone in the basement, I would have called the police. But I guess I was just too scared. I don't know. But I really thought that there was an intruder in the basement. And after that happened, Brendan came home, he checked the basement, nobody was there. Pretty much, as you can tell, nobody was there. So then it kind of became the ongoing joke that our house wasn't haunted because the door was left open. There was actually an intruder living in the house. That's what the joke became. Because since my house was vacant for 20 years, we thought, well, I thought, Brendan never thought anything. I would say that maybe someone has been staying here for 20 years that we never knew about. Maybe someone's living in the basement, hiding in the corners and living down there. And when we moved in, we kind of intruded on their space and they're still down there and we just don't know about it. Because I watch a lot of videos online where people are found to be living in other people's houses for years and years at a time. So that's what the joke became. It became that someone was living in the basement. And I don't know if this story is really going anywhere or if this isn't interesting at all. But anyway, months go by. I feel fine. I got over it. Every once in a while, I start to hear things in the basement. I would be sitting here in my office recording a video, and right below me is the furnace to the basement, and I would hear just bumps and things kind of moving. And we have a lot of boxes down there. There's a lot of things that we haven't unpacked yet since we started living here. There's a lot of things down there that can be moved around, and my cats will be sleeping in the other room, and my dog will be right at my feet. And I'm just wondering what the fuck just moved that in the basement. And it became a thing where I just felt like I was crazy. Because I heard things all the time when I was by myself. I would hear stuff in the basement. Brendan would come home and there would be nothing. There was one day I was sitting in the living room and I heard 3 knocks on the basement door. And my dog was in there eating. He was eating his food out of his bowl. And we have a glass door that leads to the basement. It's like a glass see-through door, whatever. And it sounded like taps on the glass, 3 taps on the glass. And my dog was eating, and it sounded like someone was standing on the other side of the glass door, knocking on it, trying to get my dog's attention in the kitchen. And so I go out there, hearing some taps on my fucking kitchen door, glass door, and nobody's there. Then it got to the point where my dog started barking at random things, and he'd be in here with me in the office, and he would bark down the hallway. What? What's going on? What's going on? And just bark at nothing. There was a time that he barked into the corner of the office and just barked in the corner of the room. And he would keep barking and barking and barking, and there's nothing there. And then the other day, I tweeted about it. So if you follow me on Twitter, you've already seen the video. I was talking about this whole situation, and he started barking at something in the hallway again, right as soon as I had said something about it. Guys, he's doing it right now. What are you barking at? It's just really fucking weird. Because there's nothing for him to be barking at, and there's nothing there, and it's really creepy. And then another quick thing, every time the cats would go in the basement, one of my cats, Taylor, he would go in the basement, and he'd start meowing at things. And I work at a vet office, and I wouldn't say I'm that knowledgeable about animals, but I mean, I see animals every day. And animals don't really talk to each other. Like, cats don't meow to each other. Cats meow to people to try and get their attention. They don't have their own language for each other. They have a language for people. So when cats meow, it's normally to get your attention, or they're trying to speak to their owners. So I would be upstairs, me and Brendan, and we would hear my cat Taylor in the basement just meowing really fucking loud at nothing. He would just meow, like at nobody. He would just be sitting, and we'd go over there, and he'd be sitting at the bottom of the stairs, just meowing at nothing. Which is just really fucking weird. And so anyway, long story short, I'm not going to keep going. I wish I wrote all the stuff that has happened down, because it would make more sense. I feel like this is just a big jumble of crap. But pretty much, just a lot of things have been centered around the basement. And when I'm home alone, Brendan has never heard anything. He doesn't believe that anything is wrong with the house. I don't feel scared here at all. I feel fine. But there's just some weird times where I'm home alone, like right now, and I just hear weird things. Or I hear 3 taps on the glass door. Or I hear something rustling in the basement while I'm recording a video. And it's not scary, but it's just weird. And here's where I get to the end of my story. So the other day, my mom wrote to me, and if you follow me on Twitter, you already know about this, and you already know what I'm going to say. My mom wrote to me, and she said she started working with this new guy at her job. This new guy had just started there. He's about 40-something. And they were just talking. She was getting to know this new guy that she started working with. And she was telling him about her children, about her son, and about how she has a 23-year-old daughter who just bought a house. And she goes, oh yeah, it's off of this street, on this side of town. And he goes, oh yeah, I grew up around there. I know exactly where that is. That's where my grandparents lived. And, but they lived on blah-de-blah street, which is my street. I'm gonna say Blossom Street. They lived on Blossom Street. And my mom goes, really? My daughter lives on Blossom Street. And then he starts to say things about my house. Like, he says that we have a wood stove in the basement. And he knew things about my house that no normal person would know. And then he names off the people that used to live here. And we found out that it's the exact same house that his grandparents used to live here. Anyway, so long story short, my mom started working with this guy. Come to find out, his grandparents lived in my house. He grew up coming here. His grandparents lived here until eventually they passed away. And come to find out, his grandfather, who used to do a lot of woodworking, and he would tinker around in the basement, and he would paint a lot, and he would build things. and he would sit by the wood stove in my basement. He passed away in my basement. Right in front of my wood stove, in his chair. His wife had passed away already. His wife died of cancer, and he lived here by himself, lonely, and he would hang out in my basement, and he died in my basement. Like, what the fuck? So all of these things that have been centered around the basement, where we said it was haunted from day one. It became a joke where we thought that there was an intruder living in the basement. I literally felt like someone was living with us downstairs, just living and moving things around and chilling out in my basement. Come to fucking find out, he died down there. He died in my basement. Like, what the heck? And that's pretty much where the story ends. I always wanted to tell you guys about the paranormal things that happened here, but there was no reason to because I had nothing to back it up. But now I have something to back it up. The owner died in my basement, and now all of this stuff seems to make sense, and it all centers around the basement. The things moving around, like the dog barking at nothing, my cats meowing in the basement at nothing. Someone tapping on the basement door that leads to the kitchen where my dog was eating. It's like someone is just living here, trying to get my dog's attention, trying to just play around and just be a goofy old dude living in my basement! Anyway. Well, that's the end of my story. I live in a haunted house, so. Yeah. I watch a lot of story times on YouTube. And there's not a lot of ghost paranormal stories where they can literally back it up and they have proof that someone actually died there or they have proof of anything. But I think I got all the proof I need. I thought I was crazy and Brendan thought I was crazy. And come to find out, someone died here. And that's what I've been hearing. And I don't care if you don't believe in paranormal stuff. I mean, everybody believes in something different. But it's just, it feels good to know that I'm not that crazy. And anyway, that's the end of my story. If you want to hear any more details, or if anything else happens, I could always do another story time and let you guys know, keep you guys updated. But pretty much that's about it. Someone died in my basement. And I think I have an old dude living with me and Brendan. That's what I think. I don't feel scared. I don't feel like he's here to harm us in any way. I think he just died here. He loved the basement. He used to tinker around down there, and I just think that his spirit stayed. That's about it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, or if you want to hear anything else that I have to say. If you want more story times, that would be kind of cool. I like talking to you guys once in a while. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.